Paranormal folklore. Tommy knockers. Tommy knockers, also known as knockers or knacker, are mythical creatures that are believed to dwell in mines. To hear unexplained knocking in the tunnel systems was said to be the Tommyknockers warning the living of imminent danger. But to see one may imply an impending death. It is said that offerings of food and drink should be given as thanks for the forewarning, but also to appease them. In Cornish folklore, miners would often leave the crust of their Cornish pasty in the mine for the Tommyknockers, as thanks for their warnings and for not causing any mischief. Paranormal folklore. The Church of St. Mary and All Saints, Chesterfield. The Crooked Spire. There are many local legends of how the Crooked Spire came to be. One tale states that the spire became so enamored by the beauty of a bride that it decided to take a closer look at her, but in doing so, became locked in a twisted position. A more crude version of this tale is that the spire twisted when it leant in to see that a virgin was being married and became stuck, and that the only way for it to return to its former position is for a virgin to marry in the church once again. The devil is also said to have caused the spire to twist. In one tale, a local blacksmith was said to have misshot a hoof of the devil. In great pain, the devil leapt over the spire and kicked it, causing it to twist. The truth is far more mundane, however. It is believed that when originally constructed, the spire was built using inexperienced workers, along with unseasoned and weaker wood, when lead sheeting was added to the structure. In the 17th century, the wooden supports could not hold the weight and caused the spire to twist. Paranormal folklore. The devil. Throughout history, there have been many sightings of the devil. Here are just a few of the documented encounters. Hellfire Caves card game. It is said that on one dark and stormy night, that members of the Hellfire Club were playing a game of cards in the inner sanctum, when a tall stranger approached the men and asked to join in. As the evening progressed, the man beside the stranger dropped a card on the floor as he went to retrieve it. He was chilled to the bones to discover that the stranger had hoof feet. Aware that his identity had been discovered, the devil suddenly vanished, leaving the other card players in shock. The devil's footprints, a phenomenon first recorded in February 1855, after heavy snowfall around Estuary, England. A trail of hoof marks appeared covering a distance between 40 and 100 miles with no explanation. Local religious leaders declared it to be the devil, because any obstacles in the way of the footprints were easily traversed, with roofs and hay bales showing signs of the tracks. Chesterfield Church Spire. There are many local legends that claim the devil is the one responsible for St. Mary and All Saints Church's crooked spire. One such legend is, the devil had his tail wrapped around the spire and had never seen a virgin in Chesterfield, so went for a closer look but forgot to unravel his tail, causing it to twist.
Paranormal folklore. Jack in Irons. Jack in Irons is reportedly a fearsome-looking giant that is said to haunt the loneliest roads in Yorkshire, England. The mythical spectre said to be covered in rusted metal chains that he adorns with the heads of his victims. Dare you drive alone down the lonely Yorkshire roads at night? Paranormal folklore. Old Stinker. Old Stinker is a werewolf that was first reported in the 1700s around the Yorkshire Wolds. The werewolf is said to be 7 feet tall, with glowing red eyes, sharp fangs, a short temper, and monstrous-smelling breath. Sightings of Old Stinker have been reported as recently as 2016. Dare you walk the hills of the Yorkshire Wolds on a full moon? Paranormal folklore. Jeannie of Biggersdale. Jeannie is a reportedly ill-tempered fairy that inhabits a cave, known to locals as Hobbs Cave in Mulgrave Wood, England. Locals tell a tale of a boy who shunned the warnings about Jeannie. Believing he could charm her, the boy called out to her from the outskirts of the cave, enraged. She came forth, startling the boy, causing him to mount his horse in terror and flee. Jeannie was said to give chase until the boy managed to cross a flowing river which spirits could not cross. Angered, she took her frustrations out on his mount, which had failed to make the jump, splitting the poor horse in half. Dare you beckon Jeannie from outside Hobbs' cave. Paranormal Folklore. The Phantom Warning. In the 1880s, Lord Dufferin was staying at his country home in Ireland when one evening he witnessed a ghostly figure outside his bedroom window, moving slowly towards the residence with a coffin on its back. Startled, Dufferin rushed to confront the spirit, but as he stood in front of the figure, it vanished. Dufferin thought little of the incident until a decade later, while working in France, while attending a reception at the Grand Hotel in Paris. He went to enter a lift when he suddenly recognized the lift operator. It was the phantom he had witnessed in Ireland long ago. Frozen in fear, he refused to enter the lift. Moments later, the lift crashed to the bottom of the shaft, killing all the occupants. Do you believe the spirit saved his life? A screaming skull is a paranormal phenomenon where skulls have reportedly screamed, spoke, or exudes an unknown substance. One such skull is known as the skull of Batiscum. The skull is said to have belonged to a slave who was promised that upon his death his remains would be returned to his homeland. This promise would not be kept, and the body was buried on the grounds of the slave owner. Legends say the body reportedly kept screaming until the remains were moved inside the manor. These days only the skull remains, but witness Cecil claimed to hear its screams. Dare you anger the skull and hear its terrifying scream? Paranormal Folklore. The Mermaid of Zennor. The Mermaid of Zennor is a tale from Cornish folklore. There was once a beautiful maiden who would sometimes be spotted at the church in Zennor. Her voice could warm the coldest of hearts. Over the years that she was seen, she never appeared to age. It is said the maiden fell in love with a young man named Matthew Truella. He followed her one evening, and the two lovers vanished. Years later, a ship had anchored near Pendor Cove. The legend says that a mermaid asked the captain to move as they were blocking the entrance to her home and her family. The sailors complied and hastily headed to shore. When recalling what had happened to the locals, they agreed that they now knew what had happened to Matthew and the young maiden. The maiden's likeness covers an ancient chair in the church. Dare you search the shores for the maiden? Paranormal Folklore. The Willow, the Wisp. Willow. The wisp is the common name for the mysterious ghostly lights that have been witnessed throughout history. There are multiple beliefs regarding these mysterious lights. Some believe they are wandering spirits unable to move on. Others believe it to be malevolent energy that leads those who follow it to danger. Dare you follow the wisp to find out? Paranormal Folklore. Kuchisaki-ana. Kuchisaki-ana is a malevolent female spirit from Japanese folklore. She appears to her unknown victims, carrying a pair of scissors and wearing a nurse's mask. She will ask a set of questions that no matter your answer will spell your doom. The first question she will ask is, do you think I am beautiful? Answering no would mean instant death, or she would return later to murder you in your sleep. To answer yes means she will remove her mask, showing her mouth to be cut from ear to ear. She will now repeat her question. to which answering no would mean an instant death. To answer yes will cause her to injure you with the same disfigurement as her. So tell me,
Do you think I'm beautiful?